Yeah, what difference it make?
Nah. You know, bang, bang, boom. You know, like that shot you want to hit with pocket speed, so you ensure the accuracy of the shot. 17-game lead. Oh, they're throwing the towel in.
Mercy
No,
killing
they're stopping the fight.
Mercy.
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 Mercy stopping.
Yeah.
Mercy stoppage.
All right. Well, I don't know what else there is to say.
That's it for tonight, guys. Everybody
I'll see you tomorrow. It's a pleasure working with you.
Yeah, it certainly has been a pleasure working with you, Grady. And what we saw tonight was, was spectacular play by a young champion.
Thanks everybody for coming out, and we'll see
Well,
y'all
right on this table right now, the way he's playing, sure you would.
I'd like to thank Billy and Grady. They did a hell of a job tonight. You guys couldn't hear. They were great.
This is my way. Okay, I guess we'll see y'all tomorrow. So tune in, I think, around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're going to go at them again. Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, it's good afternoon, isn't it? Well, pool player hours. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And never forget the pool player statute of limitations. If you loan one money, 3 months, if you haven't collected, forget about the statute of limitations has run out.
Okay. Well, let's bring everybody up to date on what actually happened yesterday. This is a race to 100, and we quit with 77 games played. The score is 47-30 in favor of Shane. I mean, he really played lights out yesterday, particularly in the last hour and a half he played. He's breaking the balls superbly, making balls, 2 and 3 balls on the break, and he's running out flawlessly after the break, it looks like to me.
And he's won. No, I guess we're just resuming play, so he has the break because he won the last game yesterday. And here we go again, playing the 6 ball inside. You know, the only thing that I can liken that to in recent memory, and there's a 1 ball where you had it many times yesterday. You remember the U.S. Open where they made the same corner ball like 43 times in a row, and they changed the spot, they moved it up an inch, and it still went. So the physics defy me in that kind of situation. But this is similar because they're both able to make that.
Well, it's similar only in this regard here. It's similar because they're making the same ball in the same pocket, okay? But it's not similar in the sense that at the U.S. Open they moved the rack and they still made it. But if they would move the rack here, they wouldn't make it. But they don't have the ability to do that because it's rack your own.
That's true.
You see? Yeah. Now that's why Corey's going to have a major problem surmounting this lead because Shane's breaking the ball so well, and he's not going to bad rack himself, or he's not going to twist it. He's going to push him up the same way.
All right, now Corey's got a good shot here. I had breakfast with him this morning, and I told him, I said, look, man, if you want to have a realistic chance to win this game or this match, number 1 thing you have to do is get off to a good start. So if you get a shot the first game, which now he has it, take a little extra time. Make sure you good common sense run out, or if you can't run out, play at least in safety.
Well, exactly, and
then maybe you can put a couple of racks together, and you
right.
can get yourself back into it.
You have to grasp the importance of the early hour or 2 in this match.
And this is, of course, a race to 100, and the score presently is Shane Van Boeing 47, Corey Deuel 30. Nice shot.
Now, I'm kind of curious to see how he breaks today because he's saying to me, well, what am I doing wrong? He actually isn't doing anything wrong, and he's not breaking that badly, but he's not getting the production off of the break that Shane's getting. Shane's pocketing at least 2 balls and sometimes 3, and occasionally 4 on the break, where Corey's only pocketing maybe 1 and then at times 2. But I think that's the difference there because Shane's looking when he's at the table after the break, he's looking at sometimes 8 balls and 7 balls, and Corey's looking at 9 balls and 8 balls.
Right.
So
let's talk about where we're at. We are at Lucky's in downtown Sioux Falls, South Dakota, And the hospitality tent has just been—it's been spectacular the whole time that we've been here. Everybody's been wonderful. The owners are Chuck Moss and Jason Froling, and it's a first-rate facility they have here.
Yeah, you have to like what they've done here, you know, and you really have to like what they've done here for pool and being able to set up this in this venue, the nice stage for the action report, which is really nice. And I don't know how many people are watching out there, but I know all of the people that are watching out there certainly have been entertained to a heck of a match here.
There's the 9. Oh, didn't quite go, but he made the 7 ball. This isn't the best shot in the world, though. And, I also told him, as I said, look, you need to utilize your defensive skills, which are considerable. I mentioned to Corey, and because what Shane has been doing, he's squeezing. If he doesn't have a shot, he plays a nice safety.
Well, you know, in the defensive area, in the ability to play safe, at least yesterday, Shane showed me that he was above Corey in that area.
Yeah, right. Well, if we were to reanalyze it beginning today's match, we'd make a completely different assessment of the two players' talents. Now, this is a very
absolutely,
safety,
and
right?
it was perfect timing when you brought that up. And I said to Corey simply that you don't have to get a shot on the one after the break. He was mainly concerned about getting a shot after the break. That's why he didn't want to hit him that hard. I said, as long as you have control of the table, you figure to be able to see the one, you have control of the table, and you can play a solid safety like he just did. What you
and what I like about the way
to.
he played a nice safety that he could probably do 100% of the time, as opposed to shooting a Harrigan.
Okay. And what that does is that not only gives you another opportunity, but that keeps your opponent out of stroke.
All right, now he's got his second shot, Bill, but the 3 and 8 ball are tied.
Yeah, that's right. That's the problem in this particular rack. But but at least he'll be in control of the table. There's multiple ways you can win games. You don't have to run out.
Even the 4 ball, if I could get rid of the 3, I think I'd try to play the 4 ball off the 9 and the side. That looks like a better shot than trying to get on a.
Yeah, that's a good observation there. Now he has a shot on the 2 to play for an angle for a bank on the 3, but then again, what's he going to do with the 4? If he plays for a bank on the 3, he really can't do anything real bad with the cue ball because of the position of the 9. Right. So if he opts the bank to 3,
I think you'll try to break out the 3. You'll go to the in rail with some left ankles and try to hit the 3 solid, right?
Mm-hmm. That would be something I would want to do. Yeah. Okay, now it looks like. Now there goes the 4 off the 9.
Yeah, he doesn't have the 3 does not pass the 6. So again, well, I don't see a good safety here, though. Do you?
Well, he's got problems here. He's got problems here. But at least he's got the 8 and the 4 in a position on the table on the other side of the table that may help him later on. If Shane never gets to the table, that's a tough.
This merits a little extra scrutiny. He could always thin the 3 and put the cue ball in the middle of the end rail and leave Shane a long shot where he can't get position on the 4.
Yeah, that's always good because of the position of the 4. He may be able to shoot the 3 into the 6 and draw possibly to the end rail behind the 10 in hopes that he leaves him something at least long or maybe even hooks him. Like this. Oh, he can. Oh, like that. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Well, actually,
as long as he got that cue ball back down there and how they had that 3 hit the 6 a little bit thicker, he would have left him a much longer shot.
Here's the problem here, but you know what I think Shane's going to do? Look at this and see if you don't agree with me. He's going to play the 3 off the 8 in the side. And in that fashion, the cue ball goes 2 rails, and he'll have position on the 4 because the 8 will be moved. See, if he plays the 3 in the corner, he cannot get on the 4.
But if he plays your shot, he has to be careful not to go into the 5 with the cue ball.
No, he won't go. He won't even come close to the side.
No, the 5, the 5.
Oh.
I don't know the angle that he has.
Possible.
But it looks like he might be leveling off and playing the 3 in the corner. Look, he's looking at the corner.
Well, if that's the case, he's going to have perfect speed.
Exactly. Exactly. So therefore, shooting this type of a shot in the fashion that he's shooting it.
He could put the cue ball behind the 8 and play safe too. I mean, there's different things he could do.
shooting this type of a shot in the fashion that he's shooting it. If he doesn't make it, he's going to lose.
Well, he got an angle where he can bank the 4 cross side and get down the table on the 5. He has to go 3 rails with the cue ball.
Now, if he banks the 4 cross high, I think he's got to hit it with a low right ball to shorten it up so he can get that 3 rail angle.
No, this is natural. He doesn't have to use right English. He wants to use a touch of left, if anything.
You think it'll go around the 10?
Sure.
He lengthens out off that second cushion.
Well, he's not going to hit it hard. He has to cut the 4 a little bit. That'll make the cue ball go a little faster. I wouldn't want to hit this with right English. That makes it a bit unnatural. I'd even consider hitting it with no English.
So I think if he hits it with a left, he may come pretty close to hitting that 10. If he hits that 10, he's in trouble. Because, you know, the table still is lengthening out.
That's true. Well, let's see what he decides to do.
He's playing safe here. He's playing safe. He's trying to get behind a 5 here.
Exactly. Shades of last night.
But the 4 ball's positioned so high on that rail, he's afraid he won't be able to safe up the 4 ball because of the position of it, maybe.
Well, if that's the case, then instead of trying to get behind the 5, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd
Just
try to get behind the 6, maybe. I would hit it very thinly and hit higher up on the second rail.
Well, that took a lot of nerve to do that. If you try and reposition the cue ball behind the 8, you had to have excellent speed to do that.
Well, I think Corey can see this, don't you?
I don't know, but that certainly wouldn't have been my choice.
No, I didn't like it either. Now, here's the place now. This could set the tone for today's match if Corey runs out here. And make sure he doesn't snooker himself. I like the way he plays
absolutely. You have to like that because take what the table offers. Don't try to do something that you really can't do or it's a low percentage.
Like a Steve Mizrak or a Buddy Hall. They were very good at that sort of thing.
Now, all he needs to do is pocket this ball, which should carry fairly natural position. Which he didn't do.
Well, he shot a little quickly there. The action report, the guys involved with that and creating it, Justin Collett and Chad Pullman.
There was a good opportunity for Corey to jump on
He
Shane
needed
early.
that game, didn't he?
Yeah, sure. That was big. That was big because, you know, you and I both know that to surmount a 17-game lead, you cannot make any mistakes. Really, I mean, he can't make any mistakes.
That's true. And has to get a few rolls, too. Okay, it's going to be 48-31. Now, yesterday, we were a little remiss, and I didn't have notes about it. Corey's patch is not big enough to make anything out on his shirt, but he is sponsored by the Seminole tribe and by Capone's, a nice upscale player-friendly room in Florida. And those are both quality sponsors. They love the pros, they love the sport, and I've heard the Seminole tribe is thinking about they may start a pro tour, and if they do, it'll be everything first cabin.
Yeah, well, they can definitely afford to do a lot for the game in terms of maybe even, you know, a tournament or two, or possibly even a.
Right. Well, they bought the Hard Rock casinos, so that could tie in with everything.
Possibly even a tour. You know, they could even start a tour.
That's what I meant to say, a tour. And Shane is sponsored by our host site, Lucky's, and by the BCA pool leagues.
There you go. 3 more balls in the break. You know, 3 more balls in the break. And he's looking at layouts like this, and he has been looking at layouts like this.
Well, what he wants to
Often.
do here, after a while, the 9 ball is the only problem ball, really. I'd like to get straight in on the 7 eventually, so I could just get an angle on the 8 and get straight in on the 9 ball. Then the 9 and 10 won't be very difficult. Well, this isn't any good.
Well, it's not as good as he would like it to be, but you know, well, once again, you know, he hasn't had any problems pocketing this type of a shot.
Yeah, but where's the cue ball go?
He's going to draw. Well, draw it in between the 7 and the 10.
Right.
But if he pockets this, then he should have some sort of a shot on the 5. Oh no, he missed it and he hooked Corey. Now this is very, very frustrating for a guy to be behind by as many games as Corey's behind 17. Finally see his opponent miss, which it's a very rare miss, and then come up with this.
There's a place where when I teach people my kicking systems, I show them how to measure this, and what you do with the right shot is to go to the end rail with the cue ball, and you contact the 4, but you don't play to make it. You play to hit it the hair thick, and it's almost like a one-pocket pay out. Like if my pocket were the far right-hand corner, and I'd bank kick it towards my hole. So anyway, you play to put the 4 ball in the middle of the end rail, the cue ball all the way at the other end.
Well,
of the table.
you're a one-pocket player, and you're more accustomed to shooting this type of a shot. And plus, you kick better than Corey, I do believe, and you could feel this shot probably a lot better than he can. And he's opting to go the other route here.
Well, there's nothing wrong with trying to make it, but you can't hit it very hard without risking getting snookered. Well, he did my shot, except he went 2 rails. He didn't mean it. He was trying to make it.
Yeah, he was trying to make it in place shape.
Okay. Now this is, I think that we'll see him run into the 10 ball with the cue ball, because that's the most natural path for the cue ball to take in making the 4, don't you think?
Yeah, that was very noteworthy too, by the way. He will then increase the accuracy of the shot because he knows he'll be going into the 10. He doesn't have to do anything extra with the cue ball. So he'll go into the 10.
If he goes to the right of the 10, that's problematic, and to the left is unnatural.
See,
Just like
right into the 10. The 10 stops the cue ball, where he has a reasonably good shot on the 5. It's an excellent way of playing that particular shot for you people out there.
Now, how do you like him going 3 rails here like he did all day?
No, that really
right.
lessens the chance of him pocketing it. He's going to cinch this ball.
Okay.
He's a little awkward here. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, he would like to have been a little straighter than this, but
I think he'll just
still
float
work.
this in the pocket. He will not go across the table. He'll be happy to be down. Well, he did go across the table.
See, he would rather play the 8 in the other pocket, because that's a better pocket for playing position for the 9. He's playing the 8 in the pocket that.
Now, meanwhile, Billy, he has to go on the other side of the 9 or risk running into it. This doesn't go naturally straight in. On
He
the
might
9.
be able to go into the 9, but that's dangerous because he might go into the side.
Yeah,
Looks like to me he has an angle maybe to go toward that 9 with the cue ball, but also the side pockets over there too. Very interesting.
I think I'd play it up the long rail. What do you think?
Here we go, inside English looks like here.
Well, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with
That's
that.
very difficult shot.
Well, he's close to the 8 ball where he can make a reasonably good hit, and the pockets are a bit forgiving, so it shouldn't be too tough.
Yeah, but to control that cue ball from the position that he's in right now using it inside English is very difficult. And also, I do believe pocketing the ball may be a problem as well. He went to the inside English, and he made a good shot. I mean, he hit that ball really well.
Right.
Really well. And he's gotten a pretty good shot on the 9, considering where he shot from.
Well, I would have played it to go on the other side of the 9, but I'm not the shot maker he is. I find this shot here very difficult.
Well, it is, but like you said, you're not the shot maker he is. He's really, really shooting well. Hello. No, I'm doing the tournament. No, I can't talk. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay, the score is 49 to 51. And I want to talk a minute about the diamond pool tables and the BCA leagues. That's Mark Griffin and Greg Sullivan. They shipped in a table to be used for this quality affair. Of course, diamond is always the best tables in the world. And the BCA leagues. I'm pretty much in love with them too, as far as league play goes. And no reason to mess with his break position. He's had such success.
No reason at all. Pocketed 3 balls. The last time he broke them, let's take a look at now. 6 in the side, 1 in the corner, 9 in the corner, 2 in the corner. Okay, 4 balls.
The second time.
4 balls, okay.
And he killed Whitey in the middle of the table.
All right, so therefore.
Now I'm going to say something to you. I don't want to be a braggart or anything, because I've had plenty to be humble about in my career. But when I thought I was the best one-pocket player in the world, I hunted guys down and bet them as much money as I could. If I were this young man, I'd take the 20,000 and I'd hustle Archer. Listen to me carefully. I'd hustle Archer, Efren, Busta, and Alex to play me for the 20,000.
Did you just see that, Chuck? I heard you were turned around. He hit the 3 ball so thinly, he didn't get much movement out of it. It's unbelievable how he
I'd
hit.
call up all my friends and relatives and have them bet on me too. I don't see how anybody can beat this guy right now.
Well, I'm not on this table right now in this location. But you know, when you change venues, and you know,
Well,
sometimes that gets to you.
The table is neutral. They had it shipped in here. And let me tell you what kind of guys these action report guys are. They're the kind of guys that they wouldn't allow Shane to practice until Corey had equal amount of practice time. Now, what do you think of that for a visiting
Well, I
player?
thought that was pretty classy of them,
Well,
because
right, exactly.
they're from the South Dakota area, and if they have a favorite, obviously it's going to be Shane. So therefore, you know, they didn't allow
Well,
that.
what about the nice audience here? They're very respectful and nice. They give Corey a big hand every time he runs out. They give Shane a slightly bigger hand, but not much. Now, everything's first cabin.
It certainly isn't starting out the way Corey wanted it to.
No, that second game was good. He needed to put that under his belt.
I was kind of wondering how he's going to play this shot. You know, he could pocket the 7 and then run into the 10, play the 8 in the side. I don't know if that's anything he'll be thinking about doing. He's drawing, it looks like. So he's going in around the 10. He hit the 8.
Fine.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is just perfect. You know.
Well, Corey's my friend too, but this is rapidly turning into an experience he might want to forget. 50-31, a 19-game edge. And while he's racking them up, let me say hello to Randy and Matthew down at my new room. It's called Grady's. It's in Lexington, South Carolina. The phone number is 803-957-7665, or that's the acronym for pool, as all pool lovers know. And I have 17 of these new Diamond Smart tables. And in the action room, I've got 3 tables with 4-inch pockets. So if you're man enough to come down and get some of that, come on.
That's a perfect one-pocket table. What 4-inch pocket? It's kind of small though, but.
Well, you like small pockets.
Yeah, that stops these young aggressive players a little bit, you know. How many balls did he make that time? Only 3?
No, 4.
4?
Oh, no, 3, excuse me.
3. 4. 3. Yeah. Now, this is kind of interesting here. Is he going to go for this ball? You know, this is a very, very thin cut. You know, by the way he hit that 3 ball in the last rack, I see him trying to cut the 2 in, because he is certainly seeing the edge of the ball well.
Right. The problem with this shot is the speed isn't natural. It's natural to go 2 rails and end up back in the area where the 2 ball is now. And
yeah, but the position of the 3 ball,
he
you know,
looks like he's spinning it in.
you can afford to go ahead and shoot this shot, because you could 3 ball, you can play in either one of those pockets. See how nicely he hit that?
This is what I mean.
You're right.
It laid natural to go 2 rails with the cue ball. And if I had to pick one thing that I think gives beginning and aspiring players trouble, is that they shoot too many shots with the wrong speeds and Englishes, thus effectively giving themselves no chance to make the shot.
I don't really think he has anything other than shooting for this,
Yeah, you gotta
shooting
shoot
for
it.
it here. He's got to, you know. But how? With what speed do you shoot this shot with? That's the
Well,
problem.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about the speed too much. I'd hit it about the speed he did the last one, if not slightly easier. And I wouldn't worry about position on the 5. The 8's hung up. I mean, he could play a billiard if he happens to make the 3, and the cue ball ends up where it is now. He could play the billiard or the bank. He's going to have some kind of shot. He might hit the 7 too, also coming back.
Yeah, it's very close hitting the 7. He's going to be certainly going to be flirting with it with the cue ball if he hits it that hard. He played it in the other pocket.
Okay. Now, this doesn't line naturally to go into the 10 ball. I'd use low right on this shot if I were going to shoot it. He's going to go into the 10.
He's got to be careful not to get behind the 9 here. Well, Shane's been quite fortunate that when he did miss, the last 2 times at least he did, when he missed, he really didn't give Corey much of a shot. That time was a very difficult shot, and the time before he hooked him. So it's very frustrating for Corey to continue to look at stuff like that, you know.
Well, I don't like banking the 3 towards the 8. If the 8 were in the middle of the hole, I'd like it. But I don't see how he can, if he makes the 8, he probably won't have a shot on the 3. Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to go down around the 8 with the cue ball. No, all right, he played a different shot than I thought. He's sure seeing his defensive shots well, isn't he? I wouldn't have thought of that safety. I saw 2 or 3 other ways to play it. That I overlooked that one.
Yeah, well, he's really thinking well.
Right. I will admit that that's better than anything I saw.
He's really thinking well.
I would go out to make this. Just try your best to make it. And the problem is that Corey's real often on his
That's very frustrating. And he can't afford to be a hair off today. He's got to be right on today, you know. And the balls are not cooperating for him at this point.
Well, look
you
at
know.
that. He did not mean to hit the 10 ball.
He moved the 10 now in front of the 7, which gives him a smaller window for position.
Well, he's going to try to leave the 5 about where the 8 is. Like that.
Oh, that may be high in the rail. Is that in the pocket?
He's looking at it. If it's frozen, these pockets are a bit forgiving. I like going just past the side pocket with my cue ball over there by the 7 ball.
Can he do it from this angle?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like that. And that's one of those situations where you have kind of